Hi guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Mineral Park for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Turn this abandoned stone quarry into a place to attract thrill-seeking tourists. Your objective: to achieve a park value of at least 150,000 at the end of October year 2. So quite a short scenario then. 150,000 park value is not very high, so I can't imagine us giving us too many issues. So let's have a look then. We've got a big hole in the ground, so this will be the quarry. We've got some space around the outside. It's quite a small park. We've got free admission, so we're going to be charging for the rides. Let's see what rides we've got there. We've got not a great selection of gentle rides. Not a bad selection of coasters to begin with. No thrill rides. Some water rides and a few shops. I think what I'll do then is I'll put all my research into thrill rides, because at the moment we've got none, and they are the easiest things to build. Flat rides are, and they do bring in a lot of guests, and they also do contribute quite nicely towards park value. We haven't got a huge goal. 150,000 isn't a lot, so we could probably do this with flat rides if we had a lot more to begin with, but we haven't, so we might struggle with that. I think what I'm going to do is I'll get rid of the scenery and the pathing down here. I'll take the path back up to the top, and I think what I'll do is I'll start working my way around the edge, and then once I've done that, it'll all be dependent on what I'm researching, because if I'm struggling to research things, because at the moment, like I said, we've got no thrill rides. At the moment we've got one flat ride, and that's the Crooked House, so that's probably the worst of the lot. So we can put down a few shops to begin with as well. They don't add to park value, but they will keep the guests happy. So I'll start building around the outside, and then depending on where I am with the rides and the research, I might start putting some coasters down early. If not, I'll wait until I've done the outside, and then I'll start building them, by which point we should probably be either completed the park scenario goal or be well on the way to completing that, and the coasters will just be a nice way of putting the icing on the cake, so to speak. So I'm going to crack on with the building. I'll see you in a bit. It is May year 1, so what I've done is I've built along, so we've got the Crooked House there, we've got a drop tower set to maximum height, because when it's set to maximum height on freefall mode, the intensity isn't too high. It's a nice bit of excitement. We can charge a lot of money for that. Guests are they happy? Who knows, but they are paying it. We got some shops down just over here then, because we haven't got a lot of flat rides, so we've got our first coaster just over here, so it's a wild mine ride. Good excitement on that. Again, charging 10 for that. So I've already built some paths then down along, and another one just over here, and then another one over here. What I thought was, as I'm going to be building around the outside, at some point we're probably going to get guests saying that they're lost and stuck, because what'll happen is they'll be over here, and then they'll want to go to a ride that's over here, and they'll try and take the quickest, straightest route. So they'll just get to a path that'll be about here, and they'll try and get down. They can't. So what I've done is I've put some paths already going down. I'll add some more as and when I get around to this side, so that should mean that we won't get any guests getting lost or stuck. How are we doing for park value then? We're up to 58,000, so that's not so bad. We're only a few months in, and we're already a third of the way towards the target. Money wise, not doing too bad. £1,200 a month. The more guests we get coming through the gates, the more money we're going to make. At the moment, the rides that we've got are quite low throughput. We're making good money off the drop tower, but then it does have to go all the way up to the top before dropping down again. So maybe in hindsight it would have been better to have a shorter ride now, and then towards the end of the scenario either get rid of it and rebuild one full length, or just edit it and add the full length. That'll add a bit of park value. So I'm going to crack on with the building then. I'll see you in a bit. It is July year 1, so I'm continuing to add new rides as and when they unlock. So we've got a roto drop there, we've got a swinging inverter ship and a pirate ship next door. Usually I build those in pairs, but because this is a park value map, I'm only building one of each item, because if you build 2 or more of the same type of ride, you will get penalized on the park value. Speaking of park value, we're now up to 125,000. We need 150,000 to complete the scenario. We're around halfway through the first year, so we've got another year as well. Just over here then, I've got a little car ride just to make some money, putting down one of each type of ride that we've got. We're not going to use everything because some of the rides are absolutely awful. I'm not going to use a ghost train, but you know, something like these are quite quick and easy to build. You can make a little bit of money off them, and they do add a little bit of park value as well. So I've just unlocked the top spin, so I'm going to place that down somewhere around here. Then we'll continue to work the pathing in, because these rides, they like a top spin is a 3x3 ride. You've got with this top ground here, you've got 3 wide. So the only way of doing it is probably by getting the path to go underneath, because you're going to have one tile for the entrance and one for the exit as well. So I'll probably continue doing them similar to the way I've got these ones just over here. Eventually then I'm going to run out of space, so I'm going to run out of rides, so I'm going to work my way down and build all kinds of cool coasters at the bottom. By that point I should have already beaten the park value total, so anything else I build is just going to be a bonus. So I'm going to crack on then, and I'll see you in a bit. It is October year 1, so I've built my top spin just over here. So you can see the way I've got it elevated up, so I've got the path going underneath, and then I've got one of the tiles then for the entrance and one for the exit. Just over here then I've got a wild mouse, and I've got paths leading down to the bottom to help stop guests getting lost or stuck. So we're making some good money off these. Good excitement on that. Up to 4,000 a month now. That's okay, because we're not spending that much on rides. So as you can see, August ride constructions 3.6, ride tickets 3.8. So we're making money off that. Shop sales was good. I've got my umbrellas up to £20, so it must have rained that month. When it rains, they all run to the kiosks, they buy a £20 umbrella. And then just down here then we've got a simulator ride and a twist. Again, just building one of each as and when they unlock, putting them down. Got some more shops. You haven't got to worry about shops, they don't affect the park value, so you haven't got to worry about putting duplicates down. We're doing one of each for the rides, but with the shops you haven't got to worry about putting as many of those down as you can. Just spam them down just to get make sure the guests are happy and fed, because whilst we don't need to have a guest rating or a high guest number in the park, the more guests you do have in a park, it does add a little bit to the park value. Each guest will add a couple of pounds to the park value, and later on when you've got the big coasters, the more guests you've got going on the roller coasters, that does add to your park value as well. So really I'm just going to carry on building. We're over the goal. We need 150,000 park value. We've got 156 at the moment, so we're fine. We've got another year. We can probably double that over the next year. It is April year 2, so we've got a 3D cinema just there, and then over this side then we're starting to build the coasters. So we've got a Virginia reel and a mine train as well. So a Virginia reel, good excitement on that, making some good money off that, and the mine train, good excitement on that, again good money on that. Park value just under 200,000. That is going to go up because the more guests we've got coming into the park, and the guest rating is is we are getting more guests coming in, although it's starting to go down there, but it is going up at the moment. The more guests we got coming in, the more guests will go on the rides, and that'll give us a bit of a benefit then for the park rating. We just unlocked an enterprise, so I'll see if I can put that down somewhere. And then it's just a case of building coasters over the top of what we've already built. But we're well on the way to completing this park. It's a very easy scenario. It's not going to give us any issues. This scenario should be much further towards the start of the game. In fact, it probably should be in the first tier instead of Diamond Heights, which we recently replayed as well. That was one of the first scenarios in the game. I replayed that recently, using all the tips and tricks on park value that I've learned along the way. So I'm going to carry on building. I'll see you in a bit. It is May year 2, so I managed to fit the Enterprise in just over there. Good excitement on these. Guests love these. And a go-kart ride as well. Now, go-karts are one of the premium rides when it comes to park value. So if it was a bigger park, I'd try and go for a bigger ride, but we are fairly tight for space on this one. Just waiting for the test results to come back. Let's have a look at the park value. 221,000. We only need 150, so we're already 70,000 more than what we need, and we've got plenty of space to put some more rides down here. Got my research into roller coasters now. We've unlocked all the thrill rides. So what I'm hoping for is to unlock some cool roller coasters towards the end, because the ones we've got here, I mean, we've got the mine train down, we've got these 3 down as well, but I'm looking for something big and expensive that I can put down, do something, I don't know, something either cool looking or ridiculous, just to add some really good park value to it. Something maybe with a very high guest throughput, because that'll add a lot of value as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll unlock something really cool. I'll see you in a bit. It is August year 2, so we've unlocked Twisters, which is really cool. So remember when we played Giggle Downs and there was that really stupid set of 4 roller coasters, they steeplechase coasters, and they were arranged so that the stations were in alternate directions, but the front tile was touching so that they were able to synchronize. So what I've done is I've used that principle, and then I've built this twister coaster here. So I've called it Arc Twister because it's kind of like a shape of an arc, and so you've got 4 station tiles, and then you've got a row of booster tiles, and then it shoots you up. So these are the large loop, and then but it doesn't go around the loop, it then goes into corkscrew and then back again, and now another loop. So you've got a cobra roll on one side, cobra roll on the other side. We've got a photo section this side. There isn't one that side obviously because you can only have one per row. A block break, and then back into the station. Good excitement on that. We haven't got that many guests in the park at the moment, so it's a shame because as you can see, the queue lines are empty. It would be nice to see how many guests we could get on this, how high the throughput would be. I'm gonna guess it would be way over 5,000 if the park was rammed, because each of these trains can hold about 32, I think it is 32. So yeah, and there's 2 per that, and the ride only lasts 12 seconds. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then just over here then we've got a very simple shuttle coaster, very simple corkscrew design. Good excitement on that. So what's the park value looking like then? We've got 308,000, so no problems. We've doubled the goal. Just hiding behind the Arc Twister then you've got the little magic carpet ride next to the 3D cinema. All adds up, one of everything. That's what we're trying to do. So a few months to go then. We're not going to have any issues completing the scenario goal. We've smashed it. It's we need 150,000. We've got, oh, there you go, it's shot up again, 317,000. So I don't know if we can fit anything else in, but if not, I might just fast forward it through to October. But I'll see. I'll have a look, and I'll see if we can fit anything else in. It is October year 2. So I think earlier on, didn't I say there were these fit 32? But obviously they don't. You've got 7 cars per train, 4 passengers per car, 4 7s are 28. Bit of a math fail from me earlier. So I think what I'm going to do, let's have a look. What have we gone? 291,000. Let's reduce this one down, because this ride has got my highest potential for throughput, and the higher the throughput does give you a park value bonus. So I'm going to reduce that down to 3. So I'm hoping all the guests will start rushing to this now because it's free, and that'll give us a nice boost. So we came in then, there was a target of 150,000 park value. That's quite a simple goal. There was a path heading down, a little bit of scenery at the bottom. I got rid of that. I put my research into thrill rides, because we had no thrill rides at the start. So I've added one of each with park value. The 2 golden rules for park value scenarios are: number 1, build one of each type of ride that you can. You don't have to build one of everything, but don't build more than one if you can help it, because if you build more than one of the same type of ride, you're going to get a penalty for each subsequent ride that you build. So you might as well just stick to building one of each ride. And my top tip number 2 would be to start off small and finish big. So you start off small, so that's the thrill rides, things like that, added all those round the outside. That helps bring the guests in. We got Wild Mine Train then we built, so again small. Wild Mouse over here, again small ride. We're starting to go a little bit bigger there. We've got some extra track that'll help add a little bit of value as well. Then we've got the Virginia Reel and the Mine Train, so we're starting to go a bit bigger. Then we've got the go-karts, they add good value to the parks. And then we've switched our research into roller coasters, because we wanted to end on something big and cool, and something with some good throughput. So we've got the corkscrew there set in shuttle mode, and then we've got this arc twister. We've got some queues, so that's good. Queue one side, starting to queue the other side. We need more guests on this. What's the throughput up to now? 3.6. That's not so bad, but again the queue is emptying. What I want to see is, I want to see a nice long queue, so that when the guests go on the ride, there's still another queue. Once I've got that, I know that I'm at pretty much my maximum throughput that I'm going to get for this ride, because the ride only lasts for about 12 seconds. It's a Mobius coaster. That means you start off one side and you finish on the other side. So we got, there you go, the park value's gone up. So I'm hoping that's due to the increased throughput on this ride. 3,800. What's the queue like that side? It's quite strange actually, because what you'll find is that one side tends to get busier than the other, and there's no particular reason for that, because it's exactly the same ride. It does, I mean, at the moment they're sort of pretty much a mirror image of each other, but even if they weren't, the ride will only calculate it as being the same. So you could have one ride which was one half could be very exciting, the other half could just be a simple loop to take you back to the other station, and but the game would recognize both halves as having the same excitement. What are we doing for park value? 306. So we need 150,000. We've got more than double what we need. A very simple scenario. As I said earlier, this should be closer to the start of the game, because at the moment this is the last but one tier of the game. It's not going to give us any issues at all. But if it was at the start of the game, it might give people new to the game a bit of a challenge, and it certainly would be better to prepare them for some of the harder park value levels, such as Diamond Heights or Gravity Gardens. But on the whole, it wasn't a bad level. It was quite fun to play. One thing you could do, rather than building the flat rides on the top like I've done, is what you could do is you could build them inside the rock, save you a bit of space, and then have the entrance and exits coming out like I did on Thunder Rock and the atrocious Thunder Rocks, the sequel, because the first one was so bad they made a sequel to it, and that would save you a bit of space and allow you to put some more rides, some coasters up on the top. But all in all, easy scenario, one that shouldn't give you any problems. It shouldn't really give you that many problems if it was right at the beginning, if you were to play it. But after you've played nearly 80 scenarios, then it's not going to give you any issues at all. So that was Mineral Park. I am Stu. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Any questions or feedback, drop them in the comments section, and I'll see you next time. Bye.